When people work with me, I don't treat them as employees. If anyone that has worked for me go work for someone else, the owner of that company would immediately see this is not a normal person.
Oh, wow.
And I'll tell you why. I treat them as co-owners. The moment you start work, I give you a co-owner mentality. This is not a job. I'm not going to just pay you because you worked. You understand? We need to make more money because the more money we make, the more money I pay you.
Yeah.
So we are in this together. You understand? And that is literally how I treat them. So I'm like, how do you take responsibility for this? So work with the team and make them to, build the, should I say, not just the experience of working, but also investment, but also like the confidence that's the word. So if you're working for a company, right? If you're not an entrepreneur, you're working for a company, have a co-owner mentality. Unless you're an entrepreneur and you're just biding time so you can leave and go do your own thing, that's fine. But if you know you're not an entrepreneur, but you love your job, have a co-owner mentality. That would get you far. Because people like that are the people that get leadership role in companies. People like that are the people that get more authority, that are trusted with more, you understand, in companies. So don't just say, oh, this is my job. I've done what you told me to do. I'm done. No. Okay, they told you to do 1, 2, 3. That 1, 2, 3, how does it benefit the company? Analyze that. And then it's okay, cool. How can I also add my personal touch that could make this even better or even more valuable? You understand? And present that to your team or present that to your team leader or to your leader. You understand? If you think that way, your contribution will be seen immediately and very fast. It wouldn't be a matter of who worked hardest, who spent 8 hours working a week. No, it's a matter of who brought more value, who did something, told us about it, and the value we could see it physically. You understand? That's what you want to be doing. Yeah.
I think that's one of the benefits of working in a smaller company is
Yes.
your every action that you take has a bigger consequence towards whether the company succeeds or fails. And I think when you're working in a bigger company,
It's very hard to do.
it's less, your action has less impact on the success or failure of that business. So what lands up happening is in bigger businesses, you have a lot more inefficiencies because the consequence of being inefficient is not as great as if you are working in a smaller organization.
Yeah.
And I think that can it can hold bigger companies back in a sense, which is not a bad thing because it falls into the bigger ecosystem which we operate. Because if the bigger guys are going to be slower, then that creates an opportunity for the smaller guys to fill gaps, right? But in a sense, I think it also creates this problem that we see a lot of, which is this lack of purpose that we see in the workspace, where people go to work to get a salary at the end of the day. And I think one thing you realize, like when you start making more money, is that, your happiness is not necessarily tied to how much money you're making. And you find people that are working like in these companies making a lot of money, but the happiness element is not there. My theory is that it comes from that lack of purpose and lack of feeling like the actions that you take have any consequence in this world.